Alright. Alright. Hey everybody. So, today we're going to try something that I've been wanting to try for a while now. You can come in. We're going to basically be grinding out some venison and pork fat. And it's already pre-cubed. It's been resting in the freezer for the past 20 minutes. And what we're going to do is we're going to grind it up. We're going to do a coarse grind and a fine grind. And we're going to mix it with some curing salt and other seasonings, and we're going to try and make that venison bacon that I've been seeing all over the internet. And I've looked at a bunch of different recipes. We're going to do it here in the oven just to make it simple, short, and sweet. And we're going to try it and see, how it is and whether we like it or not. If it comes out horribly, you guys will never see this video. And if it comes out great, you will definitely see the video. And if it's so-so, but kind of funny, you'll definitely see the video. So, without any further ado, we're going to get started. Alright. So, now that we've gotten sort of our coarse grind done, and it looks fantastic. Nice and marbly with that pork fat in there. Got that protein in there. The pork fat came pre-salted already just from the grocery store. So hopefully that didn't dull up my blade in the grinder too much, but I don't think it did. This is a new grinder, and it made short work of that. So let's get blades switched, and we'll do our fine grind, and then we'll get to packing. We're going to do the coarse grind through it again on fine grind. The holes are different. And once we've got it in the bowl, we're going to mix in the seasonings and the cure, and then we'll pack it into the pan, which I'm currently using other grind holes to stretch out the paper for. And then we're going to let it rest in the fridge for about 8 to 10 hours, and we'll come back, we'll bake it in the oven, and then slice it and hopefully have bacon. So yeah, without any further ado, let's get on. All right, so we got second grind in there. That's looking fantastic. We're gonna get that moved over here real quick and start mixing it and seasoning it up. And then we're gonna pack it into the pan. This is about 2 pounds of venison and about 1.5 pounds of pork. I went a little bit higher on the protein. Some recipes were saying go as much as like 50-50. Some were saying more like 30-70. So kind of just decided to wing it based off what we have on hand. I've got more pork fat. Can always go get more. And I've got lots more venison. So we'll try this recipe. And if it's a little too fatty, not enough, we'll try more stuff. So let's move. So this is kind of a home concoction of seasonings based off of several different recipes that I saw. It's got curing salt in it, which is really the only thing required. This already had salt in it on the pork, like I said earlier. So we didn't add too much more salt other than what we needed for the cure. We've got brown sugar, half dozen other seasonings in here, and we're just going to slowly mix it in to the meat and really stir it up until it's evenly distributed, and then we'll kind of hand pack it into the paper pan. And get a little bit in there, and just what you don't want to do is not mix this up enough so that curing salt doesn't get all the way through, because part of what that's going to do is it's going to give you that nice rich red bacon color, but the more important thing it's going to do is it's going to help fight off bacteria, because you're going to be baking this at such a low temp and storing it at such a low temp as well. So that salt will help basically preserve it for longer and give you a little bit more shelf life. So same principle as you would with regular bacon, which I really want to do one day, but I know. Wild pigs have a bad habit of being kind of lean, kind of a misnomer, and you don't really get bacon off of them. So, haven't had the opportunity to make my own bacon. Take my wedding ring off. And really make sure we got all that. Kind of exactly like what we're doing right now, actually. All right. Big ball. And with these pieces, gonna wash them anyways, so no harm, no foul. Hands are slippery. Oh yeah. So now we're gonna kind of just smear it out. And my two main concerns right now are that my pan is too big. Which seems to be the direction we might be heading here. Yeah, so what we're going for is about 2 inches, and I think we're going to struggle to get an inch in this pan, so we're going to pause and get another pan. Alright. Be very carefully. Okay. Luckily we have a second pan. So it looks a little bit like a mess right now, but we're going to get that leveled off. And I think we're going to get about that 2-inch thickness that we were looking for, which should be really good. And you want to press on it. From everything that I've read, you want to press on this and work out all the air bubbles. So we're going to start with my hand, and then I'm going to work back to the spatula and really make sure that we get nice and evenly in here. It's a lot like we're baking a cake right now, which is weird under these circumstances. But I actually think so far we're not doing a terrible job of making this happen. Spatula. Pretty level. That's sticking together pretty well. So now what we're going to do, we're going to take our nice seasoned and ground bacon, hopefully, and we're going to let it rest in the fridge for the next 6 to 8 hours. And then hopefully when we pull it out, we can flip this pan over and it'll all stay as one mass. That's what we're going for. So hopefully that curing salt does its job, draws out some moisture, and we get basically our bacon cake. Right here next to the actual bacon. Beautiful. All right, and we're back. It's the following morning, a little bit later because I slept in, but we're gonna pull this out of the refrigerator real quick. Hopefully it's solid enough. We can put it on this pan and we can get it in the oven. The oven's preheating already. We're gonna go 200 degrees in the oven, and we're just trying to get the internal temperature to 150. If this all falls apart, I'm deleting all these videos and none of you will ever see it. I put a little cover over it last night because I read the instructions and they pretty much all said to do that. So, let's see what we got. Looks pretty much exactly the same. A little bit more glossy over the top, but you will see. All right. Okay, well that fell out real easy. That's not bad. I'm not seeing any major cracks. So, looks like we have one solid block. That's good thickness. Looks good. All right. So, the cool thing about this is we can actually go ahead and put it in while the oven's still preheating. Some people say you guys start at 150 degrees and raise it up. Some people say, just start at 200 degrees. But we're doing very low temperatures trying to cure this bacon. So yeah, we're gonna get it in there, and I'll get you guys back for the slicing. What we're going for is about 150 temp. I pulled it out about a minute ago. I think we're right on the money. Ton of pork fat grease coming off. Does not look super appetizing right now, but we're gonna let it cool. We're gonna separate it from the grease, dry it up a little bit, slice it up, and see where we're at. All right. So the meat's been cooling in the refrigerator for about 20 minutes since taking it out of the oven. I think it's firmed up enough that we can start trying to slice it up. I'm not sure on exactly how long we're supposed to wait. I think it's supposed to coagulate, or whatever that word is, together. And hopefully it's cool enough that that works. We're gonna try slicing with the knife first, and then if that works out great, we'll move it to the meat slicer. If it doesn't work out great, we'll put it back in here to cool longer. And if it still doesn't work after that, then it's a lost cause, and we'll go back to the drawing board on this recipe. So I'm pretty excited. It looks fairly firm in the pan. It's moving around as one solid piece. It definitely has. It's structurally more weak than like a traditional slab of bacon would be, or something like that, or any kind of meat, because it's not actually conjoined. You can still break this down the middle. So you're just having to be a lot more careful with it in your handling of it. But I got it from pan to here, off the pan, back into this pan, and into the refrigerator. So it is maneuverable. You just have to be careful. And that's what I'm going to try to do. Comes across as a nice little block. Alrighty. Let's see. So, in fact, what we're actually gonna do, because that's not the best knife for this, and I want to give this every chance possible to be the best cut that it can be. So we are going to pull out, I say we pull out the big knife. And this isn't what this knife is for, but I say we pull out the big knife. Gotta love it. And I am far from an expert on bacon slicing or knife work, so all right, let's see what, ooh, okay. So it's a little bit dark in there, but and that's a thicker piece, but I think it's gonna hold up pretty well. I said we go ahead and run this puppy through the slicer and see where it takes us. All right, so we're just getting things set up now. Slicer is gonna be a fun dynamic with this. Not only is this a new slicer that I haven't used a lot of, but also we're using a brand new product that I haven't sliced up before. So a lot of new things, a lot of new parts to this. So we're gonna get boogieing and see how it goes. I would usually put the little holding guard down, but one, this thing is block heavy, and then two, that is liable to cut through the meat. So So, all in all, it's not very attractive looking. We didn't use the pink curing salt, which would make it kind of have that reddish coloring to it. So it looks cooked. Looks like meatloaf, basically. And if you do it at home, maybe get that pink curing salt if you're going to share it with somebody. But this is kind of where we're at. So the last thing to do is, we've got these, for all intents and purposes, bacon strips. It's time to fry them up. All right, we got the venison bacon in here in the cast iron pan, and we're frying up. We're starting with some of these I missed the mark on the slicer pieces. They're a little bit thinner, and we got some of the normal ones. And so far, just frying them up, and they flip well. They're handling well. You can kind of see here, that's not it pulling apart. That's air pockets that I didn't get out when we were packing it down yesterday. But like overall, these hold up. It's gonna stick together. It's not breaking apart. This isn't becoming, I'm not frying ground venison at this point. Like it's all solid. What's up, everybody? So we just finished frying up the bacon, venison bacon, and I'm here with my wife, Lydia, who is not sure how she feels about it yet. I can tell you right now, it's not the most appetizing looking thing in the world. It does look a little bit like bacon.
It looks like burnt bacon.
Like fried up now. Yeah. And I cooked it well because, first time doing it, so wanted to play it safe. But it looks great. And again, I would imagine if you had that pink salt in there and had given it a much better color, it would look even better. But it doesn't look bad to me. And it cooked really easily and it kind of pulls apart. And here.
It's kind of like a jerky consistency.
Yeah. Kind of like a jerky consistency. Camera. Meh.
The seasonings are really good.
What do you think of it? Honest opinions, because if you say you like it, we're going to cook a lot more of it.
So I do really like it. It still has the consistency, I think, of either like really thick bacon, more of that jerky kind of consistency, but I think that's because
I cut thick.
Well, it's cut thick, but it's also, like you talked about earlier, it's not just a slab of meat that you're cutting into. Like, it's ground up meat that's then packed. It is really good, though.
I like it. I thought it would be a lot like sausage. Because basically, up to a certain point, you're just making sausage. But it's good. It's not too salty, which I was worried about because there's a couple different types of salt you're putting in this thing, including curing salt and then salt for flavor. And
it is salty.
Yeah.
But it's no more salty than normal bacon.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's good. It's very good. I'm just eating up. Eat a small amount of it. Probably eat a little bit more of it. And I'll put the rest in the vacuum sealer. And freeze it for later. Overall, I give it an A. It's good stuff. We're gonna definitely make more of it. What do you think?
Yeah, I would eat it again.
She works the camera. I'm here.
I would definitely eat it again.
There you go. Good enough.